They're welcome there, right? I thought it was pretty fun though. I got under the table with all the kids. I don't know if I'll do that. I did. I got under the table with all the kids. So I was under the table with all the kids, and we're all there having fun, and they're having fun, and my mom gets under the table with us. And all of a sudden, somebody leans their head under it. It was Crump. He goes, "Hey man, you don't want a drink?" You gotta get your kids in here, man. He goes, your mom's here. My mom, you want a drink? And she goes, "What do you got?" And he gives a bottle of wine. My mom's like out there drinking wine and rain. So, story you never forget. But I asked everybody, I said, "Hey, if you see me on the beach, I'd love to know you. Please come find me, right?" And this is a tiny beach, I know, but some of you, we ran into each other, and the Dickens family shared this story with me. And I don't know if you caught the meaning, the deepness behind the story. I want to encourage you to do that. As you go through life, don't just listen to things topically. Try to listen to things on a deeper level, right? Because behind every word, behind every emotion, there's something deep. There's a root to that. Does that make sense? And so many people, we just look at the topic of everything. We look at the surface of everything. We see the negativity. We don't look at the root of the negativity, right? We see the positivity. We don't see the root of the positivity. And so whenever I listen to conversations, I really try to dig deep and figure out, okay, where's this coming from? And they went deeper in the story on the beach, but what he said was basically, look, I wanted nothing to do with it. But I read your book, I ordered online, I didn't know them. And he said, I joined, and you know what I told him? I said, look, you just proved the whole concept that we try to relay. People buy into why you're doing it before they buy into what you're doing. Despite your pessimistic view on network marketing, pyramids, and writers, you join because of the why. Nowhere is that advice, if you've read it, does it mention IDLife. Nowhere is that advice, does it mention network marketing. Nowhere is that advice to mention any business I'm doing. It just talks about my why for living. And so we're going to go over that today because recruiting is very simple. If you look at the root of everything we're about to go over, you'll notice that in this training today, we're going to give you the 10 rules, if you will, sort of the 10 laws for living the ideal life. My prayer, my hope, is that you'll transfer these 10 rules to everyone you care about. My hope is we can get a good video and we can blast it out all over social media as soon as I shut up today, right? That's my hope. So, with that being said, I wrote it down. Here's my chicken scratch. This is what I wrote 4 days ago. If I can't read it, it is what it is. But I know the principles, okay? All right, the first rule for living the ideal life. You are driving your life. It's your life. It's not the politics, right? It's not who's the president or who's not the president. I see people post it all the time on social. I'm like, just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, vote for who you want to vote for, right? You know, I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not saying who I'm for and who I'm not for. What I do know is those are people, right? That have families and they're trying to run our country. And though I completely disagree with everything they're saying, you know, people post stuff on social media like they're Satan or something. And granted, some of them seem to be close to that sometimes. But the point is, they're people. And it's amazing to me why people dwell on stuff they cannot control. My philosophy in life is control what you can control. If you want peace, control what you can control. Why dwell on things you cannot control? Right? And so what does that mean? What does that boil down to? The ownership mindset. Some of you have seen me do this. So we'll talk about the 3 laws of the ownership mindset. Law number 1, own your thoughts. Own your thoughts. Because remember, thoughts lead to actions. Actions lead to habits. Habits lead to results. It's all predicated on your thoughts. Well, Logan, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't care if you agree with that. You're wrong. Okay? At the end of the day, once you feed your mind, the dog you feed is going to win. Every time, at 10 a.m., 25 years, what you feed is going to win. If you allow yourself to feed negativity. You know, by the way, Jennifer Moran, who you all know, remember when it converted, she came up to me after it poured rain on us. You know what she said to me? She said, did you see how positive everybody was when it started raining? It's like nobody complaining, everybody was, right now, the one complaining is rubber around. But anyway, but you know what I'm saying? I saw you have tortilla that became tortilla soup. That's what I saw happen, right? I saw you there. But my point is, it was awesome to see the positivity of, you know what I mean? And that's how you build a great movement. You see, movements are created by people, not by products. Okay, I can break it to you. Products are what, right? Movements are created by the who, not the what. And that's why we're so intentional about bringing John Maxwell to speak. That's why we're so intentional about bringing Keith Craft to speak. That's why we're so intentional about personal development, leadership. Because if you can pour into someone's and get their mind right, the actions follow. And if you have the right actions immediately over an extended period of time, you'll have the right habits. And when you do that, you have the right results. The law of what is of your thoughts. Law 2 of the ownership mindset. Own your actions. So many people don't own their actions. I'll give you something. These products don't work. Put the freaking chips down. Put the chips down. You know what I mean? It's like I took a lean, here's a cookie. Took a lean, here's a cookie. You know? Hey, let me say something. You know what the opposite of the ownership mindset is? The victim mindset. That's not, and you need to ask yourself this. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you know what? You want to see the worst in me? And I'm being intentional about admitting this. I'm being intentional about improving this. And I tell myself every time before I go. When I'm flying commercial, every single time, I have to be so intentional because I hate airports. I have never been in an environment in my life with more negativity than an airport. Have you ever noticed that? I mean, it's literally, if you want to see dead people in slow and pulse, just go to a TSA check-in person. I mean, they are so miserable. And so I do that. I pull out my wallet, and I go there, give you a license, and I sit there, and I wait for eye contact wherever we can get. And so I wait. Because eventually they're going to look at you. Right? After, right? You're going to wonder, what's this person still staring at you for? Right? So I just sit there, I stare at them. Because they're down. They're sitting on a little stool, so I just stare. And then when they finally look at me, I go, thank you, man. And I walk through. I don't want to do that. I want to be like, get out of my way, negative vampire. I don't want to be around. Right? That's what everyone's saying, right? You know, and then, you know, American Airlines, no disrespect to American Airlines, but they must have a class on how they the worst flight attendants on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in first class every single time, and it's almost like it's like, I can't explain the negativity. They've gotten better. It's basically bankruptcy will do somebody, right? You know what I mean? Maybe we should change something. But, I mean, you go to Southwest Airlines, the worst planes in the world, they're terrible. The seats, I mean, my gosh, if you're not on our product, you can't fit in the seats, right? I mean, you got people coughing on you, they don't bathe in a day and a half, you know what I mean? There's no assigned seats, so everybody's gonna rush to get in there, you know? Is this seat taken? No. Go ahead and sit down. You know what I'm talking about, right? You put your scrotum there, hope nobody sit by you. You know, that is the most enjoyable experience. Because the flight attendants are awesome. I mean, they are so much fun. I'll never forget back in 2004, I was flying from Houston to Dallas, the red eye. It was like 11 p.m. back then. They used to have 11 p.m. flight. And I was flying back, there were 3 of us on the plane. South Dakota. Right? So I'm thinking, I'm going to get a little 15-minute nap. Flight attendant was like, wrong. Right? She busts out the mic and starts going Marilyn Monroe. You're like, literally singing. Happy birthday. Like in my life. Right? I wasn't married, so I enjoyed it. It was great. Awesome. Rule number 3 of the ownership mindset. Own the results. Own the results. You know, I tried that thing. It just didn't work for me. No, you didn't work for it. You didn't work for it. I did. Really, how long? 8 hours. Okay, got it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I want you to understand. Look at the root thing of everything I'm trying to relay to you right now. Everything I'm relaying to you, my hope is you will go relay it to your team. You will go relay. You've got to own the results. If you're not getting the results you want, don't blame the government. Don't blame religion. Don't blame the leadership of your company. Don't blame your upline. I had no stinking upline in network marketing. None. And I failed at the very beginning. Failed. In fact, Cassie, who was just up here, I asked her, I said, what's your residual income? I'd be like, well, not where we want it to be since I asked. What's your residual income? I'd be like, well, it's paying for our mortgage. I didn't ask that question. What's your residual income? And I'd be like, now I want to remind her, I own the company. I can look it up. They just tell me what you're making, right? And she told me. And I knew I told her, I said, you want to know what's interesting? She said, what? I said, your residual income is bigger than what mine was a year and a half after I got involved in network marketing. She looked at me, she went, huh? I go, you're making more money a month in residual income than I did in the first network marketing company I was involved in. My residual a year and a half in was about $700-800 a month. Now I made a bunch of bonus money, so I want to be transparent about that. But my residual was only $700-800 a month. You know, it's easy when you look at the results, sometimes you go too negative. You know what I'm saying? To go too negative. And that's what, I'm not throwing cash in the bus. My point is, that's an awesome accomplishment. You know, for doing this part-time, on the side, going through all they've gone through, they didn't to tell you they had another baby on purpose. I don't know if that baby's in here, so I'm going to on purpose, right? You follow me, that, right? Okay. In the middle of all their losing their job, in the middle of all the stuff, they were a rancher. You might as well live in a cave. I mean, literally, right? They had everything against them. But their why was so strong. They joined anyway, which we'll talk about that momentarily. You've got to own the results. You know, when you own your thoughts, own your actions, own your results, I promise you life just works better. That's why it's rule number one for accomplishing the ideal life, the ownership mindset. The exact opposite, things you need to look for in your own life and other people's lives. Are they making excuses? Are they making excuses? Excuses are like, you know what? We're all gone, they all stink. You know what I'm saying? Some kids in here. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, my players. Well, coach, it was a bad call. It's a bad call. I was telling my players, fellas, you know anything about excuses? And they all chime at the same time. Of course, it's beautiful. Fellas, you know anything about excuses? They go, you don't. Exactly. Because unless I'm missing something, excuses is nothing more than a coping mechanism. So it doesn't get us anywhere. In fact, it keeps us where we are. If you're making an excuse, in that moment, that means whatever just happened is not what you wanted to have happen. And so by making an excuse, you're dwelling in it longer. That doesn't get us where we want to be in life. That's not moving forward, right? The success mindset, the level 10 mindset, the game changer mindset is not doing things that are progressing, not regressing. And there's no such thing as staying where you are. I want you to hear me on this. There's no such thing. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. It is impossible to just stay where you are. That's not how it works. You gotta remember, it's not just return on investment, team, it's return on time. See the deal, right? It does the exact same. The exact same. See the same thing where you are. No, because you just lost time. You see what I'm saying? You can't get time. Right? So you're either getting better or you're getting worse. The excuse mindset, the victim mindset, it just backtracks us. It slows down our progress, slows down our success. And why is that important? Not just for your own personal gain. It's for those that are counting on you. It's for those that are watching you. You know, my little boys are here. And then those little dudes are sponges. You know what I'm saying? They are sponges. I posted a video on Facebook a week ago. I walked into the house. And I walked in the house, and Miles has this little fake cell phone. He literally is walking around the house going like this. You have to join my ID Life business. You have to join my life. I started laughing. Like, oh, that's so funny. And Miles goes, hold on one second. And he goes back on the phone. He shushed me. Miles shushed me. And that moment I went, I know where he got that from. Parents, I'm making an amen. How many times have we gone to our kids? Right? Amen. Come on, go. Right? And I went, okay, I can't do that. I gotta stop doing that to my son. Remember, life is taught, then taught. Right? It's not taught, then taught. People see what you do, that's what they do. It's that simple. Right? Owning your actions, owning your results are part of understanding that life is taught, not taught. You want your team to grow. What are you doing to display the right behaviors? What are you doing? Right? Are you having the ownership mindset or not? And we're going to go into tactical detail about that momentarily, okay? So, the first rule, you're driving your life. No one else is driving your life. Okay? So the 3 laws, if you will, to maintaining rule number 1, the ownership mindset. Own your thoughts, own your actions, own your results. Avoid the victim, excuse mindset. It gets you absolutely nowhere. You know, within that note, I have to brag on a friend of mine. So, and I have to throw myself under the bus too. A buddy of mine, Eric Worre. Eric, you may know him. He wrote a book called GoPro, Network Marketing Pro, something like that. But anyway, he called me and we're talking about stuff, and he wanted me to help him speak at one of his big events. You know, he went to Vegas recently, and I just got no time. And he said, hey man, you know, what about my book? I've known this guy for forever. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Eric Worre? Okay. So, and I go, dude, I hate to admit this to you, man, but I've never read a network marketing book in my life. I haven't. And he goes, you haven't read my book? Send it to me. I'll read it. You have my word. I'll read it. So he did. I got it. I read it real quick. And here's all I'm saying. You all need to read it. And you need to make every one of your teams read it. And I have failed you by not telling you that a long time ago. And I'm just being real with you right now. Okay? I mean, it is a great book. And listen, it's simple. It's simple. There's nothing in it that's earth-shattering. There's nothing in it that you're going to go, holy cow, that's going to change my life. Not really, no. But there are some principles in there that the people that you get involved in your business, they need to know. They need to know. Now, I'm going to tell you the first principle he talks about. It's really the main principle. And I want you all to hear this. This is critical. And I'm actually I'm adding my own thoughts. But in the book, what he talks about is be a professional. That's why it's called Go Pro. Right? Be a network. You're a professional network marketer. Right? And I think you all agree, most people don't treat it that way. In fact, again, this is where I hit you between the eyes for the first time. Well, some of you go, no, you've already done that. Okay, good. But no, this is where I'm hitting. Most of you do not treat network marketing like a profession. You don't. And here's my question for you. If you treat your health like a profession, you treat your JOB that you don't even like probably like a profession. You treat parenting like a profession. Hopefully you treat being a spouse like a profession. Right? I mean, you do, or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever it is you do in life. You should be intentional about it. Be professional about it. Yet network marketing, in my opinion, is the only vehicle where every human being on this planet can change their lives for forever. And yet people don't treat it that seriously. People typically put a value add on what something costs. Right? I'll give you an example. Fiji. John Maxwell and I went on vacation to Fiji, a few months ago. We went there as a mission trip stuff to build a leadership school for kids and all that stuff too, but we also spent some time for the vacation. And eventually you think of Fiji. Wow. Fiji, all the way across the world, it must be amazing. No, it's not. I think what people in America, what we assume Fiji's like is the time to get there, the cost to get there, how much it costs. We just assume that means it's going to be amazing. But Fiji ain't near as nice as this. I'm just being real with you. I mean, this is not. The weather's not as good, the beaches aren't as good, the water's not as good, and it costs 15 times more. But it's interesting in life, we typically align parallel cost to value add. Well, what's the problem with network marketing? It doesn't really cost you anything. Right? You're buying a product, and you got to have $199, $499, it doesn't cost you anything. Really. So people treat it like a hobby. I tell everybody, when I was a network marketer, when I sit down with people, one of the first things I have to coach them on, let's treat this like we just spent $1 million on it. And our goal is to knock off that debt of $1 million. That's what I do, right? And every time they give a check, we fix the deal, put it on the mirror, go for $1 million, maybe the first check is $100, right? So you get the point, $1 million minus $100. Maybe the next check is $1,000. And then we count down. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go into some other rules, so I'll say it. But the bottom line is this. You will never go after a bullseye you can't clearly see. Won't happen. If you don't have a bullseye, if there's no cloud in your way, it's a clear, articulated bullseye, number one, you'll never go after it. Number two, equally as important, and you got to hear me on this. How can you expect someone else to follow your vision that you haven't clearly communicated? Don't ever expect someone to follow your vision if you haven't clearly communicated it. I'm going to tell you now, if you show me, I'm going to make $1 million, and every time I make the money, I'm crossing that thing down, I can see that. I can clearly articulate that. And I always laugh at people that, why do you get a network marketer to make money? Liar. You are lying. Yes, you did. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing. Why would you be ashamed? Let me tell you something. You want to know how you succeed in network marketing? Quit selling product. Quit selling product. Right? It's about selling the opportunity. I hate to break it to you. You make money by selling the product. But more people are attracted to getting out of debt than they are to getting in shape. I hate to break that reality to you. More people are attracted to getting out of debt than they are getting in shape. I'm just telling you, it's ridiculous. That's how they think. Right? So when we go back to the point I'm trying to make with Eric Worre's book, be a professional network marketer. That's part of rule number one, the ownership mindset. Own this business. God has blessed you with a platform to change your life. And we're having dinner, and Carrie and Laura, I love to ask questions at dinner. I love to do that. So I sit there, I actually learned that from John Maxwell. But I sat there and Carrie, I don't even know if, I just met her, she's an employee of ours, and I like, she's great. I don't know her that well. And I sat down with Carrie, I said, Carrie, if you could ask me any question in the world about how you like, what do you want to ask me? You know what she asked me? It was very profound. She said, do you really think anyone can succeed in IMLife? Anyone? I said, Carrie, I don't really think I know. I said, if I didn't believe that, we'd have a criteria before we allow people to pay their money for us. We would not take people's money if I didn't believe 100% of my heart that everybody can succeed. I mean, I'm wrong. And then she goes, Phil, why do you think some people don't succeed? I said, because don't you love the business? They do not treat it like a business. They are not professional about what they're doing. Right? Now understand, being professional can be 10 hours for you, it can be 2 hours for you, it can be 60 hours a week for you. You have to understand you're going to get out of it what you put into it. It's that simple. Heck, I'll tell you right now, we had 2 folks get into ID Life in the last 30 days. They hit presidential record in the first month of this business. 2. In their first 30 days, they put in right at 450 associates. Now, okay, well, did they come from another network marketing company? Yes, they did. They resigned. They were millionaires. 7 were millionaires in another company. They resigned, came over here and started from scratch because of why our company exists. I want you to understand. When you transfer the why, which I'm going to get into, transfer the why into a practical, professional way, and you articulate that vision, people will resign a 7-figure check to join the business. You understand that? We didn't give them anything. Nothing. They said they wanted to meet me. So we fly on in. They flew into Dallas for headquarters. Why? Then the what? Then the game plan. We articulated it for them. I'm going to show you how to do that in momentarily. Point is this. They had the success they had because they treat network marketing like a profession. You hear me on that? If people ask you what you do, your first gut instinct is to tell them, I'm with the Health and Wellness Company. It's the worst answer you could ever do. Ever. It's not a good answer. It's not a good, that is downplaying what we do here. We're a movement. What do you do? I'm part of the greatest movement in the world. Really, what do you mean? Got it. Right? You got it. You know what I'm saying? And so here's what I want you all to do. If you don't hear anything else I've said today, which we're going to go into the good stuff, this is the crud, one of the good stuff to say. Is ask yourself, am I being a professional? Am I truly being a professional? Do I have a systematic approach? Or do I just show up to the meetings when my upline says there's a meeting? Right? What is my game plan? It drives me crazy, and I'm going to get hard-headed. It drives me nuts when people join a business and even earn this trip. And then what? Then what? Look, you succeed not when you feel good. Those that succeed do so when they don't feel good, and they do it anyway. Those are the people that succeed. Anybody can do well when they're happy. Anybody can do well when life's great. That's not what separates the men from the boys, the women from the girls. What makes that separation is when it's mundane, boring, miserable, you're tired, and you go, let's saddle up and get it done. That's being a professional. What's the difference between a college baseball player and a professional baseball player? College baseball player, they get hurt, they take the game off, they can come back and play, it is what it is. What's the difference from a professional? They're going to play through it, because that's how they make their money. That's how they make their money. Jimmy Gatlin, 7 years in NHL. You get hurt and you get off the ice, I guarantee you somebody replaces you, has a good game, you may not get back on. That's how it works in life. Yet people don't treat their business like they're professional. Do you understand every one of you in this room? Every single one of you will be multi-millionaires in ID Life if you will just simply stay focused, follow the success system, follow the mixer format, do the right things repeatedly over an extended period of time. When you want to and when you don't want to. Just do it. Make sure rule number 1 is in play. Just remember, you own it. Ownership mindset. Let's go to rule number 2. The second rule is you must master the transfer of belief principle. And there are 4 laws to transfer of belief. The first law to transfer of belief, you must believe in yourself. That's a corny deal. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Bull crap. I mean, whoever came up with that deal, it's like, are you kidding me? You know, yeah, I can fly too, right? I believe it, I can fly. I said, no, that's ridiculous. You know, that's hocus pocus, rah stuff. You know, if you hear anything from me, when people go, oh, you're a motivational speaker. No, I'm a motivational teacher. There's a difference. Big difference. Right? Anybody can get here and get you riled up and emotionally fired up. I want to leave you with principles that you can not only apply, but you can pay it forward to other people. You follow me on that? And so when we look at the law of belief, the first way you're going to believe in yourself, you've got to hear me on this, is you must be authentic and real with yourself. Stop living up to the Joneses. Stop driving some car because you think somebody might join your business because you're driving a fancy car. Get out of debt. Right? And quit trying to please the world. You will never please the world. Your job is to please your maker, and please yourself, and then everybody else will fall in the line. That's what I tell myself all the time. Hey, Logan, you're bold, you're harsh, you got I'm honest. I'm true to myself, I'm true to other people. If people don't like the truth, I can't help that. Right? And so here's the bottom line. You all have to believe in yourself, and you will never truly believe in yourself until you're comfortable in your own skin. You can fake like you believe in yourself, but that won't happen. I know people that make great money, but they don't believe in themselves. You show me somebody that doesn't believe in themselves, I'll show you somebody that's miserable inside. They're living a quiet life of desperation. I promise you. That's not the 6 pillars of my life are mental, spiritual, physical, financial, emotional, relational. Spiritual. Until you know whose you are, you'll never know who you are. And I can assure you, those that live life and they want to deny that, concept, I pray for you. And I would love to have a conversation over here with you. I know for a fact we as a company will lose money because I will talk openly about my beliefs. But I also know for a fact because we talk openly about our beliefs, we win lives. I'd rather win lives than lose money. And at the end of the day, until you know whose you are, you'll never know who you are. Until you know your maker, you'll never going to know yourself. And I'm not speaking from some spiritual kumbaya, hokey pokey standpoint. I'm speaking from an authentic standpoint where I was 17 years old. I had everything the world thought you should have. I started my own business when I was 12. My stepdad could attest to that. I was making more money than my mom at the age of 13. I was fine. I was the district MVP in basketball my junior and senior year, first team All-American in both basketball and baseball, going full scholarship. I had all the worldly stuff, beautiful girlfriend, whole lot of homecoming queen, all the junk. And I was miserable. I was miserable. And I'll never forget a guy from Young Life that he hounded me for 2 years to go to some stupid Monday night meeting. And I finally went and said, shut up. It sounds like never market, right? So I went. Seriously, I went, and that's, I'll never forget it. Look, I'm not trying to force my beliefs down your throat. I'm telling you 10 laws of the IE life. Okay? So if you want to ignore law 2, that's fine. But let me just tell you what happened. I'm sitting here talking with a buddy of one of my teammates. I hear a guy named John Bagwell, one of the basketball teammates, say to another guy. Right? I didn't know the God yet. I didn't know if I really believed because I laid in my bed. I kid you not, when God, if you're really there, we talk. Silence. God, if you're really there, will you talk to me? I'm really doubting that you exist. Silence. And I go, you must not be real. So I went to this deal for this one last-ditch effort, this Young Life deal. And I don't remember one of my buddies. And he says to his friend, he goes, God was speaking to me yesterday, and that's all I needed to hear. And so I literally, I go, hold on. I said, what do you mean he was talking to you? So I said, I go, you heard his voice? Because I've been trying to get him to talk to me, and he won't talk to me. No, this is God's honest truth. This is what happened. And he goes, no, not literally. You don't really hear his voice. You experience it through people, through experiences, through the Word of God. That's how you experience it. I go, what does that mean? And he goes, when the Holy Spirit sort of works in you, and you just get in a boat, you just can't even understand what it is. I go, no, I know what you're talking about. And so I went and interviewed Mormon Church. I'm not casting judgment. I love everybody. I'm not better than they all know where I stand on this, right? I don't think I'm better than anybody. We all know that. I have dear friends that are Mormon, Jewish. I have dear friends in every facet. I really want you to know that. So please don't think I'm trying to tell you my views better than your views. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. But I went interviewed. I read everything. I read the Quran. I did everything. I did it. And I came out Christian. That's what happened. So I didn't do it because somebody forced. I grew up in that. In fact, it was the opposite. Our stepdad could tell you, remember, I was like nuts. Right? She like to beat you over the head with the Bible every day. It's like, I don't want that. Like, you're crazy for me. Right? And so I was turned off by the whole thing. My mom was turned off by the whole thing. Never went to church because of it. And so my point is, that's why my philosophy is you love people in Jesus. You don't judge people in Jesus. Our job is to love people. Our job is not to judge people. Our job is to surround ourselves with people. The bottom line is this. The first level of belief is you got to know whose you are if you want to know who you are. And if any of you are struggling with this concept, and you don't want to believe it, here's all I want to tell you. If you knew the God that I get to experience every day, you'd run to him. He'd sit there with his arms open, just wait for him. That's all he wants. He's not this guy with a gavel judging you like the world dictates him to be. That's not him. He just loves you. And when you know whose you are, you'll know who you are. You'll be authentic, you'll be real, you'll understand your life purpose in a way that I promise you don't understand at this point in time. If you don't understand who you are. And if you do understand who you are, here I want you to understand. You got to grow in that relationship, no different than a marriage. Does that make sense? Because if you don't grow in that relationship, you become further and further apart. And when you become further and further apart, the love dissipates. That's just how it works. Right? So all relationships take work. First level of belief, you got to believe in yourself. You must know who you are, or who you are. The second level of belief, as in fact, I like specific stuff. Okay? All right. So thank you for my team. The second level of belief, and this is critical, you got to believe in network marketing. And that's why I believe the GoPro book by Eric Ward is a great book to add to your arsenal. You have to believe in network marketing. You have to be bold about network marketing. Because people will try to rob you of your joy. You understand your positivity has to so strongly override other people's negativity that they ask, why are you so positive? I'm going to repeat that. Your positivity has to be so overriding the negativity that they ask you, why are you so positive? Another way of saying that, how can you be so positive that this works? You understand? And that's what goes back to transfer vision. If you don't give people a clear bullseye of what the end game is going to look like, why would they want to participate in your game? You hear me on this? The first practice I have every season as a coach of Dallas Coaches, first practice, I bring my guys in and I bring a World Series ring into the dugout. First practice, before we ever step on the field, I say, you see this, fellas? This is what you're all going to have in your hand in the year. This is what you're going to have. But in order to do that, it takes sacrifice, it takes desire, it takes vision. I go through all the steps to what a championship team looks like. And I start off with helping them clearly articulate the vision. Then I show them a video of the last year's team dogpile on the mound after we win. I show them pictures of the players with tears running down their cheeks, having accomplished the dream of winning the World Series. Then, and only then, do we get into the how and why. You see, so many of you, you're not understanding the critical side of casting vision on you have to believe in network marketing. The third thing you have to believe in is you have to believe in ID Life, why you chose ID Life. You follow me on that? So don't hash too long on network marketing. Just make sure they understand it's legit, it's real. And here's the quote I always use. I say, do you understand there are people with 1/10 of your talent, ability, and influence that are retired living the life of their dreams because they said yes to network marketing? That's what I tell people. The skeptics. I said, you understand there are people with 1/10 your talent, influence, and they're living the life of their dreams because they said yes to network marketing. And I tell everybody this, the only reason you're not in network marketing is you don't understand